Hello, Antonio here, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through what to do if you've just started your own brand and you're not getting sales through. So let me give you a bit of context. So let's assume you've just launched, you've got your ads set up, they're running, your landing page or your e-com store, your product page, etc., all done, nicely refined. Switch the ads on, nothing. Problem. Now, this is very common. I see this quite a lot. And generally, if I'm getting this right, I'm going to assume you're feeling deflated, annoyed. You've probably invested a lot of time, money, and energy into developing your store, expecting to see sales instantly, but it's dead. And the thing is, you probably don't know what to do or how to fix it. You probably just want to quit, start over again with a new product, probably blame the market, blame the product, blame Meta for no sales and not for giving you enough reach. And I understand that. And this is exactly what my story was. And I'm going to show you in this video, if you watch it to the end, exactly how to overcome this and turn this around, because this is very common, it's normal, but it's up to you to take control, and I'm going to walk you through. Let me first start by telling you my story. So I built a brand. You see the brand on the screen today. I built for 2 years, and I launched to Crickets, 2 whole years of building. I launched, nothing. And even then, right, when I finally did get sales through, I started to figure things out. It was manual. I had to go and travel around the UK to like events and actually give product samples out and do it in person. Those first 100 sales were really hard run, physically traveling to events, selling in person. But I learned how to sell to my customers. I understood the market because I got direct feedback from them. And this is one of the key points I'm going to talk to you about doing, which is understanding your customer. So if this is you, if it sounds like you, don't panic. It's perfectly normal. But it's also where most people quit. And since then, as you can see, with this brand, I've done over 2 million of supplement sales, probably over 8 million across client brands as well. But it's all because I followed the exact same advice that I'm about to give you here. And all of the brands that I've scaled with, when I worked with founders, they've all come to me with exactly the same problem and exactly the same story. If you skip this, I guarantee you're going to be way more likely to fail, quit, and give up, which is what everything in your body is probably telling you to do. That you've got shiny object syndrome, the product's not right, the timing's not right, just things aren't working. But it's not. It's all about you, and there's a way through it. And just to give you an example, one of my students, Alp, he went through this whole process, struggled to start, really high CPMs, no sales coming through, but he followed the advice I'm about to give you in this video. And now, last time I checked in, he's doing 20K MRR. That's monthly recurring revenue, and he's acquiring a profit as well. If that's not good enough, another one of my clients, this is as recent as last week, he originally launched, failed, got nothing through, but then he went again, he tweaked everything, and within 30 days, he's now doing over 1K, I think it's 1.3K days profitably. And I'm sharing this because this stuff works. And I pretty much want to give away all of my knowledge for free here on YouTube so you can take advantage and you don't have to go through the same terrible journey that I did. By the way, if you want one-to-one support specific to this situation, if you're struggling at the moment and you want to make sure that you see results, click the link in the description and you can work with me one-to-one. The first thing I'm going to want to talk to you about is why is this happening? And let me give you a long story short. The problem is you are just not good enough yet. You don't understand all of the elements of building a landing page. You don't understand how to create good content or make good creative to cycle into your ads. There's a very high likelihood that you haven't refined your messaging or even your offer yet. And these are all moving parts, things that are directly within your sphere of influence and control. And 9 times out of 10, you're just not getting enough traffic to make data-driven decisions, yes, particularly so if you've just launched. So this kind of dials it back in terms of controlling your controllables. These 3 things, potentially 4. So your offer, your creative, which is your ads, your landing page, and of course, your messaging. Here's what not to do. Here's what everyone around you is probably going to tell you to do. First and foremost, hire agencies. Don't do that. If you're starting up, you don't have a huge amount of capital, they can be expensive. You obviously get no guarantee of results. If you do decide to go down the route, absolutely fine. Of course, you can leverage their knowledge, but just try and hire on a performance basis. So it's they only win if you win. And only the ones who are like truly confident in their ability to get you results will work on these terms. But again, we're just trying to leverage things in your favor and reduce or mitigate risk and additional spend. Definitely don't panic, and definitely do not blame Meta unless it is actually their fault, like account bans, restrictions, etc. Assuming you're doing everything and keeping the account above board, of course. You're probably going to switch to a new product. You probably just want to try and spend more to get a broader data set, and sometimes you can just burn through cash if these controllables aren't in place. And by controllables, I'm talking about your landing page design, your creative, the content, pretty much what we said at the start. And I'm guessing, because this is what I was feeling, you probably just want to quit. The easiest thing, go back to the 9 to 5, or just start again, lose all of this kind of compound progress that you've made so far. So just please don't do that. If you do that, nothing will ever work. Okay. nothing worth doing is ever easy. This is the principle. Right, I think we understand where we're at. We understand what the problems are. So how do we come up with a solution? This is what I'm going to teach you now, and this is the important part of this video. So first and foremost, do not panic. Dial things back, take a deep breath, and control your controllables. Bring everything back to first principles. So when we're selling anything to anyone online, remember, we're not able to build a direct relationship because we're not able to invoke the senses. We're not speaking directly to someone. We're speaking through content, copywriting. Okay, it's all digital. And thinking about first principles, we need to know more about our customers than they know about themselves. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to sell to them. So this is about dialing things back and understanding exactly who is your customer, but not just like surface level. I want to know everything about them. I want to know what they had for dinner last night, that level of like insight. Because once we understand this, for want of a better phrase, we can weaponize this knowledge so that we work on positioning, whether it's an offer, whether it's a narrative, whether it's the problem that we're solving and how this directly pertains to your product. Basically, who are you solving for? And what is the big problem or problems that they're suffering from that your product exists to solve, all right? Start there. Start with the fundamentals, because if you don't understand your customer, it is impossible. It doesn't matter how good your landing page is. It doesn't matter how good your creative is. If you're not solving a problem and clearly explaining and linking how this product solves that, then they're just not going to buy. It's just going to fall straight through the net. You're going to burn cash on Meta, and you're probably going to blame the systems or the product when it's not. It's 9 times out of 10, it's always the entrepreneur. Now, if you're running ads, it's very, very, very important that you learn to switch into data science mode and understanding what these key metrics are. So CTR, your click-through rate, CPC, cost per click, CPMs, and your CPA. It's outside the scope of this video, but understanding that all of the data, it tells a story, but you need to be able to interpret what this is, what it means, and then what's actionable on the back end. And once you do that, this then dictates what's going wrong. Are you just not getting enough attention? Are you not getting enough traffic? It's the same with kind of click-through rates. It's going to all directly correlate to the strength of your messaging or your creative. And again, these are things that you're going to be focusing probably 90% of your time on is in creative strategy, whether that is on the ads or on the post-click experience, when we're looking at landing pages, advertorials, listicles, etc. And this is where this builds into your website. So look at your conversion rate. Is it low? What's that telling you? Okay, everything tells a story. If you want a little bit more insightful data, you can use apps like Crazy Egg, Microsoft Clarity, and look at the heat mapping, or Hotjar, all do the same thing. But again, what we're trying to do is to strip things back and make data-driven decisions and not emotional reactions. Because your emotions lie to you and they will always want to keep you safe. And this is probably 99% of the reason that most people quit when it gets difficult or they don't see instant success, but not you. Because you're watching this video, you want to make things work, you want to figure out a way through, because there's always a way through, but you just cannot quit. You need to be able to switch into data science mode, start to learn what these numbers mean, and then take actions on the back of them, okay? If you need to, seek help. So get direct feedback, get into e-com communities, hire a mentor. Like these have all, like myself, we've all been through this journey and we can all help you because we understand the problem. And to me, for example, a lot of the problems when I look at the data, it's glaringly obvious what's going wrong. You just can't see it yet because you don't have the experience. So it's generally just a knowledge gap. And to increase your surface area for luck, instead of scrolling mindlessly on TikTok or procrastinating, unfollow everything or everyone that isn't related to getting you more information or teaching you about ecom, because you need to be obsessed with this. You need to know everything. I'm not saying you need to be an expert, but all of the moving parts, I think it's incredibly important that you are constantly learning, because technology moves, it changes, it's not static, and you can't really afford to be out of the loop with it. So even like get on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, follow landing page designers, agency owners, guys who are running Facebook ads. Some founders are building in public. Like, look at what they're doing. They're giving all of this away for free. And if you're curating your feed and the information you take in, you'll get some good ideas. You see what some of the big brands are doing, and this will give you a bit of a heading as, oh, this is interesting, let's try that. And you do this again over a long enough period of time. You model success. You model the traits of the greats. Again, you're moving further. Like, everything starts to become a bit clearer, but it's up to you to take action on this. But first and foremost, understand that it's just a knowledge gap right now. Doesn't necessarily mean the product isn't good. It's not hot. 9 times out of 10, it's a marketing problem. Okay. When we're looking at your time allocation, and this is how you distribute your time when you're working on the brand, because sometimes, there's a lot of moving parts. I would say 50% is on your creative, 40% on your post-click experience or your website, and then 10% are on the offer. But again, just making sure that we're making data-driven decisions and not emotional-led assumptions. This is where you run into trouble. And when I'm talking about obsessing in the e-com world, look at your competitors. If you don't have a direct competitor, look at some of the brands that are killing it right now. Funnel hack them. Look at their ads. Get into their email flows. Look at their offer, how they're positioning things. Watch their messaging. Look at their reviews. Just take inspiration. Like if you need to, just copy. I'm not saying copy everything, but copy the layout. Take inspiration and make it your own. Because if it's working for them, there's a high likelihood that it's also going to work for you. Because they're thinking these guys have agencies. They're paying probably thousands every month to run and set these things up. So if you can just draw inspiration and make it your own, you're getting technically the same result. It's just a matter of you learning and understanding the skills, how to do and build and implement that. And of course, get better at content creation. Leverage AI. Look at different UGC creatives, hire influencers, look at whitelisting or white labeling. The key here is don't try and do too much too soon. Focus on quality when it comes to creative, because with anything creative, you have an infinite amount of options and things to do and tweak. Look at your hooks, refine headlines, look at different ways to position. And again, it's just about understanding what is within your control. And when I'm talking about controllables, you don't control the algorithm, but you do control the inputs. So learning how to improve and then just sticking at things, focus, follow one course until successful. Refine your offer as well. This is really important, as opposed to just something that maybe makes sense for you financially, but what does it look like to the customer? Is it appealing? Does it make financial sense for them? Are they getting value? Just thinking about this. And then, of course, just being aware of cash flow and savings if you're spending on ads. Like, don't overstretch. This is something I did when I started for the first probably 2.5 years of running my brand. I was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs, moonlighting, just doing whatever I needed to do so that I didn't have to take money out of the business. I was able to reinvest without overstretching myself. I kept the business lean. I wasn't I wasn't borrowing money. I just needed something to keep the lights on, food on the table, to give me a buffer, but also keep me out of a 9-to-5. Because in the 9-to-5, it's very difficult. It takes up a lot of your energy. There's a lot of distraction, and you come back and you've got all this work to do on your e-com site. And sometimes the quality of your work goes down. But yeah, reduce your overhead, stay lean, personal, and of course with your business. Don't add in too many softwares or moving parts that are expensive. And try and just free up as much time and bandwidth as possible for you to work on the business and also in the business at this stage. And this is the process. I call it the physics of progress, and it's essentially just consistency over time and remembering that nothing worth doing is ever easy. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it and it wouldn't be worth it. Just remember that. E-com is a full-time job. Every single functional and technical area of your store eventually at scale is a full-time job for a full-time paid professional. You're just not at that level yet, but it's up to you to make it work. You need to develop these skills. Like my brand, it didn't work for 2 years. If I quit at any one of those points in the 2 years, I wouldn't be where I am now. This is the staying power that you need to develop. And it was just literally the concept of 1% every day. Small improvements that compound over a long enough period of time where things click and they make sense. And this is a timeline that's available for you, but you just can't stop. And manage expectations. Don't expect instant results. Think of it like a puzzle. It's a code that you need to crack. It's particularly so because you're learning new skills. You don't maybe fully understand the market yet. There's a lot of psychology to build in, a lot of moving parts on the technical side of things that you're going to need to master, and just give time to compound. And 9 times out of 10, it is literally a marketing problem. So as long as your product is good, it does what it says on the tin or the tub or the packet, there's no reason that you can't get these customers coming back, which means it's just struggling to acquire it in the first place. And just don't overcomplicate it. No new AI shiny tool or software is going to solve it or do the work for you. It is literally down to you to follow this physics of progress and iterate fast, work intelligent, and find a way to make it work. And whenever possible, if you're stuck, just take a step back. Remember, breathe. Think about the fundamentals, understanding your customer, just obsessing over your customer, really learning and leaning into training on sales and marketing and the art of persuasion, because it's all of these tactics that will help you once you bring them together. This is what's going to make you progress. This is the key. And I suppose this is where mindset comes in. And I genuinely believe that 90% of success in life and business, or personal life, every endeavors, is always comes back down to mindset. And the fact that everything in you is going to want you to quit, or the grass is greener, it's not. It's only greener where you water it. Stop comparing with other people. Just compare against you. It's you versus you versus yourself a month ago, 6 months ago. Look how much progress you've made. You actually have a store now. You have a product running. Hopefully you're getting revenue through. So you're still making progress. You're just not there yet. Like look back at your first version, and this is the speed that you need to be working. Like you want to be embarrassed by your first version of your website. If not, you're not working hard enough. You're not changing things fast enough. Like speed is key. Look at where your time is going as well. For me, it's not about time management. It's about energy management. The principle here being where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. So you need to understand, what are my income generating tasks? This is what I mean by IGTs. Where is my time best spent that makes me the most money? We're looking for asymmetry here. What 2 units of input give me 10 units of output? And generally, it's your creative and your post-click experience. So really getting good at these. Once your landing page is solid, the rest of your time is on creative and testing, and obviously refining your offer all the time. What can also work well from a mindset side is just setting unrealistic goals and just locking the fuck in, bro. Like, be hyper aware of what you're optimizing for. What makes this worth it for you? Stick to the plan and make your decisions binary when it comes to, do I do this, do I not do this? It should be simple. Does this move me further towards my goal or away from my goal? And you need to stack those decisions in favor of towards the goal consistently over time. And just be aware, everything and everyone around you is probably going to encourage you to quit. And this is literally your only guaranteed way to fail. Once you start making progress, which you will if you stick with it, even if it's not getting sales, your numbers will get better. Things will start to improve. Things will start to click and you'll get better at it. Once you have this, maintain that momentum. Don't lose it. Double down. Don't back down. Refine your craft. Just get better at things. And remember that the overall skill you're learning here is how to sell anything to anyone. And you don't lose from this, because you're learning how systems work, sales and marketing, persuasion, Facebook ads. And even if it does end up being the product, being the problem, which 9 times out of 10 it's not, you now know how to craft something from nothing and sell anything to anyone. And if you can do it in a hard market, imagine when you hit something and you flow downstream, because you now have acquired these skills. So just see all of this spend, if say it's like Facebook ads or even it's time that you put into the business, this is an investment into your own professional development. And these are transferable skills that will last you for life. You will grow through this process. If you're struggling, I know how you feel. I was there for a very long time. It took me a while to figure it out. But when I started, I didn't have access like you do now to all of these tutorials on YouTube. Shopify was kind of just getting set up. Everything was very manual. I had to learn to do everything myself. It doesn't need to be like that for you. So if you're stuck, you need support. If this video is resonating with you and you think I can help, send me a message. Click the link. It's in the description and I'll help you formulate a plan. But yeah, just seek help, don't quit, take action, and I promise things will work out. Hope this is useful. I'll see you in the next video.